So apparently I'm live right now, and I didn't realize that. But it's been about a year since I've checked in with a live presentation. Originally, the purpose of this live stuff was to talk about play and games, and kind of play more than games. So one thing I wanted to touch upon is my favorite guitar player of all time, and the best guitar player of all time, Eddie Van Halen. Now, Eddie Van Halen, as Bill and Ted would no doubt agree with, was a virtuoso, the best guitar player that ever lived, in my opinion. But one problem I have had with Eddie Van Halen over the years, and don't take this the wrong way, I love Eddie Van Halen. I cried when he passed away. Um, I literally cried. I needed a hug when he passed away. Um, he was the first guitar player I ever discovered. I was, 10, 12, something like that, really, really young. And I discovered Eddie Van Halen. And I, I kind of came to this assumption all guitar players should be like this good. So as the years went by, I would listen to other guitar players and I would be like, oh, this guy sucks. He's not as good as Eddie Van Halen. This guy sucks. You know, whoever it might be, the guitar player for Rat or Mick Mars from Motley Crue or something like that, or you name it. Not necessarily the giants like Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix or uh, Eric Clapton, who I've got to admit I'm not a fan of Eric Clapton at all. I find him boring. But I mean, there's a lot of others. Ry Cooder. Um, yeah, I don't know. I could name a few more. I'm not thinking of them right off the top of my head. Actually, even Paul Simon. I've learned more about playing guitar from Paul Simon than than most other guitar players in the world. So I mean, his finger picking is fantastic. So I just wanted to sort of like suggest that like Eddie Van Halen is freaking awesome. Awesome, but when you discover him first off from like other great guitar players who you might get into, um, it's kind of like discovering like you found the best tasting food in the world, and then you're gonna spend the next 25 years trying to find the food that tastes as good as that food, but you won't because you've already found the best food in the world. And it sort of shuts you off a little bit to like, well, all right, this isn't the best food I've ever had, but it's really, really, really good, you know. And in my youth and everything like that, I would be like, oh no, these guys suck, but they don't suck. They're really, really good. They're just not Eddie Van Halen. So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to share that and just be like, that's an observation. I can't tell you. I've been listening to Van Halen for the last half an hour. I mean, there's not enough superlatives that one can put onto Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing. He's freaking amazing. Um, Even the little stuff he does in between the stuff he does is it's crazy. He could like not play anything else and just do these little licks in between the verses or whatever, and he would still be the best guitar player of all time. So that's my opinion. I love the guy. I'm sorry that he passed away as young as he did. Um, he was in his 60s when he stopped playing, or passed away. And that's just a tragedy. And the reason why is obviously tobacco and nicotine and a smoking habit, and that's very unfortunate. That's not the part I want to focus on here. I just wanted to say that like he's so amazingly good. He makes other really, 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 really good guitar players seem like they're not that good. And that's kind of unfortunate too, because you miss out on a lot of great stuff over the years. Um, I swear to God, right hand up, he was the first guitar player I ever got into, and like it's kind of like discovering the greatest book ever written is the first book you've ever read, and so you spend the rest of your life trying to find a match for that, and you just can't do it. So thank you, Eddie Van Halen. I love you. You've been you were my idol as a kid, and to this day, um, yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about it, Eddie Van Halen. So uh, that's about it. It's been a while. I hope all y'all out there are doing well, and I don't know. Hopefully, it won't be another 11 and a half months before I post a live stream. If you did, and hey, let's hook up again. We can do this down the road. So, love you all. Peace.